Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a brand new episode of me yapping about, some wrestling. I still don't really have a name for this because it is the On It podcast. We are here, the On It network, but I don't have my co-host, and eventually we will get Devin on this podcast, and it might not even be 2026. It might be 2027, might be 2028, but one day he will be intrigued enough to have a conversation about the world of professional wrestling. But for now, you got just me. And I got a few topics I want to talk about. Obviously, I want to discuss Raw, but not really just like a breakdown of what happened past 2 weeks of Monday Night Raw, but more so the the reaction to Monday Night Raw that the people have had, that content creators have had. Saturday night main event, predictions for that, and then obviously AJ Styles, is he about to retire in January of 2026 opposed to any other month of this year? But I guess getting into the reaction to Monday Night Raw, and it's more so other people's reactions, not really mine, because it's early, it's still January. They kicked off Raw, in a big way, like they did the year, the way they started 2025, the Netflix premiere. But I said, we had to wait and see and give them a couple weeks to see how quickly they cooled down. And people are treating Monday Night Raw as if they fell off a cliff. And I can't necessarily say that it's went from, a 10 to a 2. It's really just there's a few moves they have made that, to me at least, I could see why the quality of Monday Night Raw is a little lower. But in reality of things, the biggest thing for me is how much better SmackDown these past 2 weeks have been compared to Raw. That's the biggest thing. And I know repping a brand in WWE, it's not a thing anymore, but I think there are people who there are more fans of Raw than SmackDown, and I don't want to say that they are mad at how good SmackDown has been, but I guess maybe, if you see an episode of SmackDown and SmackDown's cooking, you're gonna assume they got something really, really good for Monday Night Raw. And what they've had isn't it's not the trash. It's not trash. The way that people are talking about Monday Night Raw, it's Monday Night Raw was trash. Monday Night Raw was garbage. Monday Night Raw is unwatchable. Now, there are, like I said, a few things that could change, that could make Monday Night Raw a lot better. And then there are a few things that you could just point out that are a little too obvious. Starting with something that was way too obvious was Finn Balor and CM Punk. I don't think anybody would be opposed to a match with CM Punk and Finn Balor. I don't think anybody was mad at that being a thing. I don't think anybody, to be completely honest with you, I don't even necessarily see many people hating on the match itself, but it's just how predictable this was. They had barely a week of a build, one little back and forth, and then boom, Finn Balor gets a title shot out of nowhere. We all knew Finn Balor wasn't winning this championship, so it was a little too predictable, and maybe they could have had it build for a little bit longer to keep people on their toes. But if anything, I'm happy that there is a world champion fighting on Monday Night Raw. This is the second world title defense now on Monday Night Raw in 2026, and mind you, the person holding the title is CM Punk, who is not a part-timer, but he ain't a full-timer either. I'll say what's killing Monday Night Raw is how they're moving with the vision. The creative side of WWE has no clue what they're doing with the vision. Obviously, they had the Seth and Braun, or the Seth breakup, which was way too early in my opinion. And now you're having Braun Breaker, who is probably, not even probably, one of the hottest guys on Raw. You suspend him, which I don't know the true reason for him not being on, but if there was a reason to not have him on there for some personal shit, cool. If not, why are we suspending Braun Breaker for a week? And then on top of that, you have the Vision come out without Braun Breaker, and it looks like a stream squad. It looks like Logan Paul, Aiden Ross, and Phantom. I mean, this is not the move. This is not. I don't see the, no pun intended, vision in this team at all. I don't know what their goal is. I don't see them doing anything but helping Braun win a world title, and then eventually them turning on him, and then what? I don't know. At the end of the day, it's Austin Theory, Logan Paul, and Bronson Reed. I can understand why people are a little upset at that, but hey, at least we're getting to why Monday Night Raw sucks. You need Braun Breaker on TV, and guess what? If there's one thing that this tells you, it's how bad the WWE needs Seth Rollins. And obviously that's like saying the sky is blue, but Seth Rollins not being a part of, Monday Night Raw, WWE period, being out with this injury, I hate to hate on somebody like a Kevin Owens, right? But it seems like the star power that a Seth Rollins has, his absence is a little more noticeable. And I would love for Kevin Owens to come back as soon as he possibly can, and that might be another year. Who knows when he's coming back? But if we're talking in terms of weekly television, Seth Rollins not being on there is obviously hurting, and there's not really much they can do about it right now anyways. The women's tag team division, we're not throwing any smut on that. They're carrying Monday Night Raw. They're carrying the WWE. They not carrying the WWE. Let me relax. They are in terms of, if we're going like pound for pound, like match for match, if we're going week for week, it's the women's tag team division. They are crushing every single match that they've had or been involved with, or every story, anything involving women's tag team has been excellent. The next thing for me, and this isn't even, this is more of a just something I've noticed from people in the WWE world. So y'all were mad that Javon Evans got signed during a commercial break. And y'all have done nothing but complain about the last 2 weeks of Raw, which have consisted of a match, including Javon Evans. So you're mad you're mad at something where Javon Evans is finally on TV, and y'all spent, I don't know, at least a good week or two bitching about a contract signing not being televised. You bitch when you don't get something. You bitch when you get it. What do you want? Let the, I don't even want to say like developmental guys cook, but let the young guys eat. Let them get on Monday Night Raw. Not every single match has to be a fucking steel cage, no holds bars, ambulance match, fucking lumberjack with all Terminators around the ring. Like, relax. Let Javon Evans and whoever cook. It's cool. And on top of that, I will say something that seems to be a problem with WWE, and I get it, but at the same time, there is one person in particular this is affecting the most. They seem to in the big 2026 still like to group the lucha guys. They keep them in their own storylines and their own plot lines, or throw them into tag teams or whatever. And we must have forgotten how hot Penta was as just a singles competitor. I think Penta needs a go. I think Penta needs a singles push. If there's one person for, because I get it, you tag them together, you team them together, you have other guys out there, or fucking AJ Styles, whoever, all these mix-ups you have. Yes, it's putting more people on, but at the same time, if you want to push that scene, or give that scene some more spotlight, period, give Penta a fucking singles push again. He needs to go back to the singles division and go crazy, because I don't know, him just being in the him just bouncing around in the tag team division. I don't know. It's they're wasting a very, very, very hot talent on meaningless stories when we could really have some more entertaining singles matches on Monday Night Raw or stories on Monday Night Raw. So that's just a suggestion. Maybe give Penta a little singles run. Wouldn't be mad at that. Oh, and it could just be me. And if it is just me, maybe I'm a piece of shit. But I do not care about a Natalya heel turn in 2026. I'll say it again. I do not care about a Natalya heel turn in 2026 or whatever. What Natty Hart, Natty, like what? I don't even know who the fuck it's Natalya. She's Natalya. It's Natalya. We know Natalya. She's turning heel in 2026. Okay. All right. There's so many women right now who could be put on, and instead we are turning Natalya heel in 2026. Mind you, AJ Styles might be retiring in 2 weeks, and we're giving Natalya a heel turn. You know what? Be mad. Be mad at Monday Night Raw. It's fine. I understand it. I understand it now. I'm getting more mad talking about Monday Night Raw. I'm getting more mad at Monday Night Raw as I talk about Monday Night Raw, but I still won't say it's garbage. I still won't say it's been trash. It just hasn't been as good as Friday Night SmackDown, and that's a good thing. I feel like there's years where one side is awful, and I mean, like last year, for instance. Last year, SmackDown was pretty much unwatchable, and so far, we're about the end of we're getting close to the end of January. So far, they've been cooking. Raw, 6.5. Like they've been doing their thing. They've been doing their thing. They open hot, 8 or 9, but we'll give them a 6.5. But moving on with that, what I do want to talk about, and I feel like deserves much more of a complaint than how well Monday Night Raw has been the last 2 weeks, is the fact that they're even hinting at AJ Styles retiring this soon or this early into 2026. And obviously, this is something that's been talked about since he went on. It was Chris Van Fleet. I think it was CVV. I believe it was on CVV when he said that he was probably retiring in 2026, which pretty much turned into I'm retiring in 2026. And now we are already kicking off the whole, Gunther versus AJ Styles shit, which they already fought. And what I said that happened, I thought was going to happen, which obviously we knew who had to win to lead to this happening again. And I just didn't realize it was going to be this soon. I thought they'd be able to find a way to put a gap in between now and WrestleMania. I don't know what they were going to do, but having AJ Styles put his career on the line before January is even over scares the shit out of me, because I wanted some type of farewell for AJ Styles. I wanted him to go on some type of run back some type of classics, go on some type of tear, because if this is a situation where, let's say AJ Styles really is retiring and AJ Styles really is going to fight Gunther and be done. He barely retired in 2026. And if this was a situation where he didn't even feel like he could go any further, then you really probably should have retired last year. I'm sorry. Like getting all the way to here and then going, I don't know. I feel like is worse than showing your age in a way. I don't know. And maybe I'm just speculating. I'm hoping that that's not the case at all. I'm hoping the case is maybe, just maybe, they are pulling the old, oh, I'm putting my career on the line and I'm already retiring in real life, so obviously I'm losing, right? Voice crack. And then maybe they pull the rug on us. Maybe Flair wins. Maybe he doesn't retire. And, maybe AJ Styles continues to fight for a little bit longer this year. Maybe they're able to put a gap into this and come back to this later on. And I'm talking, you could book this in fucking September, October, in a world where Gunther has a world title back on his shoulder and AJ Styles wants a chance at it. And now we're looking at AJ Styles getting one last chance at a world title, and he's putting his career on the line again. And we could have a lot to do with AJ Styles. We could involve AJ Styles in 2026 a lot more than him retiring at the fucking Royal Rumble. That is That is ridiculous. And especially after the lackluster 2025 that AJ Styles had, fuck being old, fuck being injured. I'd say how they used him last year. It's like, fuck this, I'm gonna retire. I'm wasting my time out here. I think they need to do him some type of justice and give him some type of farewell run or something. Because this doesn't make sense. And another reason it doesn't make sense is because Gunther's supposed to win this. Gunther's supposed to retire AJ Styles. He retired Goldberg. He retired John Cena. So obviously he's going to retire AJ Styles. But if AJ Styles loses, he barely retires in 2026 and got everybody's hopes up. So the only way to make this make sense is if AJ wins and then later on gets retired by Gunther, which I'm not mad at. I feel like this is something, like I said, you could come back to, but it does not make sense to have this person, Gunther, who I'm talking about, be the one to make AJ put his career on the line right now. If this was October, November, December, fucking SummerSlam, whatever, I would get it. I would understand why Gunther would be the one to make AJ Styles put his career on the line, because he's retiring. But saying I'm retiring, saying 2026 will be my last year is a lot different than I'm going to fight 2 more times in 2026 and then I'm going to retire in January or February 1st, whatever the date of the Royal Rumble is. But I'd say the biggest thing out of all this is technically this Royal Rumble will be the 10-year and I believe like 1 week anniversary of when he debuted in the WWE. So, you know, this could mean something for AJ Styles in that type of way. But at the same time, fuck that. We need a little more AJ Styles before he walks away. If John Cena could come out here and do what he did last year, I think we need AJ Styles to not replicate that. We don't need to put that much attention on him, and that's just the unfortunate sake of his career, you know, not starting in the WWE and having a lot of his career not be in the WWE. But still, he deserves some type of a farewell tour, a goodbye, a chance to go a final WrestleMania, a final everything. I mean, why not? A final Elimination Chamber. Give AJ Styles a final run. But I don't know. I think there is a chance that they do it right now, and AJ Styles is retiring at the Royal Rumble, which is going to blow my fucking mind. But I truly do hope that they make Gunther look as strong as ever. AJ pulls off the dub somehow, some way, and whether that's just being the veteran that he is, or he has to pull off some slick shit that fans are going to cheer for regardless. I think it's too early for AJ Styles to retire unless he physically feels like he needs to retire. If he thinks, all right, I got it in me, I have one more banger and then I gotta go, all right, I understand. Sorry, AJ, you can walk. But if this is Triple H going for the next Unreal series, for the next Unreal season, fuck that. We don't need no chin rubs. We don't need no thinking about this. Put a pin in this. Gunther loses. He can retire AJ Styles later on this year. And then we got Saturday night's main event, which is this Saturday. It's coming up. It's right here. And we have some good matches, some interesting matches. Io Sky and Rhea Ripley versus Roxanne and Liv Morgan. I think this one is pretty obvious. I mean, Io and Rhea, they're just way too hot right now. And there's so many other opportunities to put the tag titles on Perez and Liv Morgan. Like, you can do that whenever you want. I mean, shit, they could lose to them. They could win these titles a month from now, and nobody's going to look at it any different way. But I think for right now, Rhea and Io Sky, they're too hot. They're too hot right now. They're winning this match. Cody Rhodes versus Jacob Fatu. Now, the biggest problem with this match is it's really hard not seeing a Drew McIntyre interference. And let's assume Drew McIntyre does interfere. It's probably going to lean towards, accidentally helping out Jacob, and maybe he pulls off a win over Cody Rhodes. I would prefer that Drew McIntyre did not interfere in this match, and it was just a clean win, either, Cody or Fatu. I will say, just before I predict that match, I'm getting more and more interested in this triple threat idea. And I don't know if it's going to be possible, because I'm not sure who's winning the Rumble, which I will be doing a video separately just predicting the Royal Rumble itself. I'm not sure who's winning the Royal Rumble. There's so many options. But there is a way to end up having Jacob Fatu, Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre be a triple threat match at WrestleMania for the undisputed title. And I think that could be fucking fire. A lot of people are against that. A lot of people don't want that. I think that would be great, because Cody Rhodes isn't winning the Royal Rumble. He's not winning it 3 years in a row. It's not fucking happening. I think they actually put him in the chamber, which we don't get to see a lot. If we have, my mind's, I don't know. If he has been, fuck me. But put Cody Rhodes in the chamber. I think Cody Rhodes wins the Elimination Chamber and then goes back to fight for the title. But if you have Fatu, say, not magically, but if you have Fatu, say, win against Cody Rhodes, and now we have the guy who just beat the top guy in the WWE, possibly clean, go on a couple weeks later and win the Royal Rumble, challenge Drew McIntyre. A month later, Cody Rhodes goes and wins the Elimination Chamber, and then he also challenges Drew McIntyre. That would lead to a third way to give somebody a chance to fight for the world title at WrestleMania. Which, fuck it, who cares? There's so much bullshit that happens in WWE. I mean, we watched, whether you like Jey Uso or not, we watched Jey Uso win the fucking Royal Rumble. If they would have found a way to pull the rug on him, if they didn't believe in him to win the world title and didn't want him fighting Gunther at WrestleMania, they would have done it. So if we're doing this in the opposite way, where we're trying to get more people in the picture for the world title and WWE title, fucking do it. Let both winners of the Rumble and Chamber go and challenge Drew McIntyre. Have that be a triple threat match, and they can get in their bag and come up with a third way to give somebody a title shot, or just whoever the world champion is beefing with at the time. That's the WrestleMania match. But with that being said, I do not know who's winning this match. I think it really depends on where they plan on going with the title, because obviously the winner of this fatal four-way match is going to fight Drew at the Royal Rumble, who is going to lose to Drew at the Royal Rumble. And then after that, the only way is either having Drew maybe have one more match for the title at the Elimination Chamber before he goes into a program for WrestleMania, or you start the Fatu program right then and there, and you let that lead to WrestleMania. Either way, I think Cody Rhodes ends up winning the Elimination Chamber, and there is a chance that Jacob Fatu, especially after being in the WWE title picture, wins the Royal Rumble. There is a very good chance. But with this match alone, I'm not on the side of like wanting to see Cody just absolutely get not really buried, but just thrown out of the picture completely. I think maybe after WrestleMania, you can give him some time off or whatever you want to do with Cody Rhodes. But I think having him lose to Fatu here, whether it's Drew McIntyre interference or not, probably going to be Drew McIntyre interference. I think that gives a lot of hype towards Jacob, and then that just puts Cody Rhodes more in that. And I know people don't like seeing it, and I know people are tired of it, and it is another reason why people are so happy Drew is champion. But it's going to put him in that, oh, will Cody Rhodes ever climb back to the top? Bada, bada. And he already cut his promo for needing to climb back to the top, so we know where they're going with Cody Rhodes. But have Cody Rhodes lose to Jacob Fatu. Have Cody Rhodes get eliminated in the Royal Rumble. And then you got to have him win the Chamber. If you don't have him win the Chamber, if nobody wants to see Cody Rhodes win the Chamber by then, maybe he doesn't deserve to win the Chamber and fight for another title anytime soon. But I think maybe at least half of that crowd could be rooting for him. Maybe. Maybe that is a little too optimistic, but fuck it. Let Cody Rhodes lose to Fatu. And give me Drew McIntyre pretty much for sure interfering in this match. Then we have the Saturday night main event, the Fatal 4-Way between Damian Priest, Randy Orton, Sami Zayn, and Trick Williams, which I was right, 3 out of 4, 75%. The only one I got wrong was Trick and Cardona, which I'm completely okay with because there's a lot more of a future with Trick Williams compared to Matt Cardona. I'm sorry to Zack Ryder fans, but that's just the truth. I stand on what I said, 2 weeks ago when they announced this tournament and who was fighting this tournament. Randy Orton can get a championship match whenever he wants. He can go out there and challenge whoever is champion whenever he wants, and that will happen eventually. Damian Priest, don't really think it's time for him to be back in the title scene yet. I really don't want to see I really don't want to see Drew versus Priest again, at least for right now. And I think Priest has enough of a character to not even need a title on him right now. He can go out there, do some hardcore shit, throw his arms up, go backstage, be done. Trick Williams, there's so many people fighting for a chance at the title. So much so that we're coming up with ideas of a triple threat match for the undisputed title at WrestleMania. It's just not time for Trick Williams. It's not time yet. It's not Triple H being, what people think Triple H is or whatever. It's just it's not time yet. He'll get his shine. He'll get the cook soon, but it's too early. It's too early. I think they'll, I don't know, maybe give him some type of promo. He jumped Sami Zayn. I don't know where they're going with that, but I do know where they're going with who's winning this match. And it's the, you go back and watch the Sami Zayn promo. The hope that the crowd is going to have at the Royal Rumble. The hometown crowd at Saturday Night Main Event. Sami Zayn is winning this Fatal 4-Way match. And then we'll go on to fight Drew at the Royal Rumble. And he'll lose. He'll lose to Drew. He'll lose clean as shit, probably. Very super clean to Drew. But the thing is, no matter what, when the Office ass theme music hits and Sami Zayn comes out, everybody just all the hope in the world shows and comes out. So Sami Zayn will win this Fatal 4-Way match. Sami Zayn will fight Drew McIntyre for the world title, the undisputed title. And yeah, I mean that's what I got for Saturday night's main event. Give me Io and Ripley, Fatu over Cody, and Sami Zayn coming out victorious in the Fatal 4-Way. But with that being said, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna go. Sorry for yapping too much. If I yap too much, I'm gonna keep doing it. So I'm sorry. But Raw versus SmackDown. AJ Styles, is he retiring? I don't know at this point. I hope not. Not yet, at least. We know he's retiring, but way too fucking early. Saturday night main event predictions. I think we covered everything. I think we got everything out of the way. Leave your predictions. Leave your predictions in the comments. Who you think's winning Saturday night's main event. Tell me, how Raw can get any better or why you think Raw sucks. If you think Raw sucks. AJ Styles, should he retire now? Should he win this match? Go discuss. Tell me how y'all feel. Tell me how wrong I am. I don't care. But I will be back on Saturday with Devin to discuss this conference championship. Maybe rank some more active NFL picks in the NFL. some road to the Super Bowls for next season. We have a lot to discuss next episode, but hopefully you enjoyed. I will be back before the Royal Rumble to obviously give my predictions for that, who I think is going to show up. Maybe some people return to the WWE, who knows, on men's and women's side, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. But like I said, hopefully you enjoyed this little episode of me yapping about the WWE. I will be back on Saturday. Brand new episodes every Tuesday and Saturday. It has been me. It has been real. I am out.